Welcome to Simple Block Studios. This devlog is going to be one of the shorter ones, however, we still have quite a bit to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and press the play button. Now, as from a design perspective, there's nothing new with the fighters. However, if we go over here, I have a new ship class. Here it is. This is the first Corvette, and will also be the starter ship. As you can see, it has 5 turrets. These are going to be modular in the full game, but for now they only have energy weapons, as they're the easiest to code. And there will also be a drill head, however that's not coded yet. I'm going to go ahead and tell my units to head over and attack it. You can see them making their way. Now the Corvette has seen us. It's going to start shooting its lasers at us. And as you can see, as the battle goes on, the Corvette's going to start losing parts. Now I'm going to pause here and explain these parts real quick. As you can see, we have several parts along the ship. There are a total of 15 of them. There's over 6 of them are just duplicates of each other. We had a drill up front. That's going to be for mining and attack. It will give the unit a unique stance where it rams into the enemy. Yeah, we had a drill head. We had a dedicated cargo bay. We had a missile bay. This ship's supposed to have missiles. Then we have our aquaponics bays. These produce food and oxygen for the crew of the ship. And then we have the crew quarters in the central column here. That just holds crew. It's implied medical centers are there too, but I don't know if we're going to code that. Might be put on the scope to do medical. And then we have the docking bay. This is where fighters are going to be stored. Not all Corvettes are going to have them, but this one does. It will be able to hold 8 fighters within the hull of the ship. And if we take a look, these are proportionally scaled relative to the world. Take a look here. That ship would fit in there, be able to fly in, and then use the 3rd dimension to find a suitable docking space. Then behind that we have life support. This is going to be physically where the oxygen that the hydroponics bay produces, and various other systems that are needed for the support of life. Exactly what those things are, we haven't decided on yet. And then we have it says ion drive. It's actually going to be a fusion drive. We were going to be doing fusion-powered ion drives, but then we talked to someone who knows a little more about this than we do, and decided that why don't we just shoot the fusion out the back of the ship. So we made it modular like this so that taking damage to the ship actually is important, and not just a number that you got to keep up on. As you can see here, if the fighters stop attacking right now, which they won't, this ship has already lost quite a bit. It's missing a drill head. It's missing some cargo space. There's stuff in there. All that stuff's gone. I think that's all that's damaged right now. But as time goes on, it's going to start losing more. It's going to eventually lose the bridge. If the bridge dies, the ship's basically dead, and you're cooked. You got a tow ship to bring it back. There will be a damage state sprite for this. I just haven't gotten to that yet. I'll go ahead and resume the battle now. Oh, it's lost its fusion reactor. It's gonna run out of energy here pretty soon. I think it just ran out of energy. Yeah. There we go. And we won. All the fighters are gonna return to where they were before. Right. Moving on to the technical side of things. If you recall from our previous devlogs, we had a lot of code in our fighters. Most of it's been moved, because pretty recently I figured out that all the AI is doing, there are only 3 numbers that this AI needs to get. Where to go, where to point, and who to shoot at. So all this code here decides where those 2 points are and who the enemy or friendly to go to is. Most of that code has been moved to the navigation system, which is a pretty beefy set of code now. It's 531 lines. A lot of it is just functions that we've explained already, such as this one here. This one just uses the RCS thrusters to align the thrust vector towards where it wants to go. It does an okay job. I'm going to be reworking it again because there's a bug where the target, if the ship's far away from where it's wanting to go, but not like really far away, it'll just orbit its target. And this set of scripts is involved in that. I haven't debugged why yet. This is the target intercept. This is just a quadratic formula, and we'll point it once from there. This is going to get it reworked at some point, but this just gets every ship in the game, figures out if it's in range, and then adds it to a list and eventually sends it back to the ship that called it. We're going to be redoing this so that it can detect asteroids and other miscellaneous objects too, not just enemy ships. This is what this is coded for right now. This just turns the ship. We've talked about that one before. This and the 3 functions below it just turn on the RCS thrusters in the direction that the ship wants to go in and uses the fuel accordingly. We talked about it in previous dev blogs. This one's probably redundant, but it's there to set the target of the waypoint, and if it needs it, the AI gets that data too, though in hindsight, the AI could probably just read the data from the navigation system. Here's the bulk of the AI. This code here is what the navigation system uses to get the ship to where it wants to go and then point it in the direction it wants to be in. It is used for the Corvette class. It's used for the fighter class. It's going to be used for the cruiser and battleship class. Maybe another class of ship we don't know of yet. There are going to be carriers, which are just hangar battleships basically, and then there are going to be frigates. I don't know anything about the frigates yet. Frigates are historically pretty weird. Moving on, since that's technically design stuff. This code is the same we've obviously seen before. It's just been moved to a different script with some minor modifications to allow this set of data to be used for turrets. That isn't great for performance, but it's not the bottleneck. The bottleneck, as far as I know, is this here and all the math following. If there's a better way to do all this, let me know. What it does is these 4 lines just need to get angles. That's all they're there for, to get the ship to point the direction we want it to and burn the RCS thrusters accordingly. Moving further up, we just have it turn off the RCS thrusters at the start of the frame, and usually they'll be on by the end of it. As you saw in the design portion of the devlog, this works just fine. Then it's just a list of things. As for the Corvette AI, it's very similar to the Starfighter AI, but it's got line instead of breach. The Corvettes don't have fixed weapons, at least not this one, ignoring the drill head. That's going to be its own thing. Line is similar to breach, but it does it slightly differently. Instead, the Corvette's going to make some distance. Unlike the fighters where their weapons have to be pretty close, the Corvettes can have longer ranged weapons and instead point at where it's going and not where it needs to be to shoot, since it doesn't have a fixed weapon that needs to worry about that. So there are minor edits to the Corvette code to compensate for that, such as in the go here function. It's been edited to include a minor distance offset so that the difference between this and the fighter code is that there's this slight distance offset to keep the Corvette slightly further away. Besides that, though, it's pretty much the same. At least for now. We might change it. It'll be dependent on if we end up finding if stances are not fun or not. Over here at the energy turret, it's much more basic than the rest of them. It just has some more visual-based code here. It just gets since we don't need to go anywhere, we just have to point at something. It only has 1 dot angle, and it just converts it into the degrees it needs. And then if it's close to its target angle, it will then fire its weapon and deal damage to the ship is trying to shoot at. It doesn't appear like this code has any turning involved, but it actually does. It has a navigation system. That navigation system does the turning, and this just tells it where it needs to turn to and deals damage accordingly. It uses the same code of the navigation system to get its targets, so once it's time to redo how it does that, all ships will be edited and we won't need to fumble around with 14 different ship classes to do all that. we have code for the inventory system already. However, that is going to be for the next dev blog, as I want to get the mining system done before we talk about how that's going to work. I also haven't made the UI elements for the inventory either, and that's going to be something I need to do before I showing it off from a design standpoint. If I don't get much done by the time it's time to release that devlog, though, I'll just talk about the technical things, and maybe we make the next one cover the UI elements. Alright, that's it for this devlog. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and comment any suggestions or flaws in the code. You guys see quite a bit of it now. Oh, and might be able to point something out that I missed. It'll be hard to catch bugs without playtesting, but if you guys can see any, that'd be great. Thanks for watching.